What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode 76 of the RXP podcast, the podcast where three working professionals talk all about their love for movies, TV shows, and video games. And if you're Tiffany or Alex, books. But not me. No, siree.
What about books
Anyway,
with pictures, I feel like manga counts. Those are books.
That's
true. Manga totally counts.
In that sense, I'm all about the books. Because let me tell you, this is not even what this episode's about. Let me tell you. I've been on the One Piece train. Let me tell you. Because One Piece Odyssey, which we probably won't be talking about on this episode, because this episode is all about hype and things to come. Well, One Piece Odyssey, spoiler alert, already here. Loving it, enjoying it. Wanted to prep for it. Watched One Piece back in the day. Fell off sometime during school and took it upon myself. You know what? I'm going to read this. I'm going to read from the beginning. And right as of today, as of recording, I'm on chapter 688 out of like 1070, 1072, something like that.
Wow.
Like I am speeding through it. And honestly, so good. So good. I'm loving it. Loving it.
That's awesome. I'm so thrilled for you because I'm also like I'm on the like comic train, but I've been reading like manhwas, which are Korean comics.
Okay.
And manga's Japanese comics. So like I'm on the comic train with you, man. Like I've been reading nonstop.
Do they have a good app or website for you to read manhwas?
So there's definitely a lot of legitimate apps that have a lot of...
Okay, say no
like,
more. All right,
yeah.
moving on. And we're done here. All right, so this is all about hype.
Hype!
Listen, 2023, if you haven't already listened to it, go listen to our RXP podcast, Fantasy Critic, episode 75. We crowned the champion, Tiffany. Well deserved.
Thank you.
Me as a humble bronze medalist, I am just in awe of you guys' potential of finding the games that are all crazy and good. And you know what? Looking through our draft of this year, this is going to be a great year at games. But the thing is, it's not just games. We've got some good movies. We've got some good TV shows. And today we're going to be talking all about it. We're going to have our top 6 most hype things that are happening in 2023. I'm pumped. This is honestly like one of my favorite episodes of the year.
I completely agree.
Like we've got rose-colored glasses. I think last year I even talked about Gotham Knights. I haven't even touched Gotham Knights because it like was terrible, turns out. We still have not even bought it. Like it's not even that deep of a sale. It's crazy.
You mentioned these are the top 6 2023 experiences. It still feels weird that we're already in 2023, even though it's the 3rd week as we're recording this.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel
Yeah. It doesn't. No, not at all. And even though we're almost a whole month into the year of 2023, we've got 11 more months. And these 11 months, straight bangers. Every single one of them.
Jam-packed.
Just jam-packed. So, I don't know about you all, but I had such a hard time to limit this to 6. Because I feel like, I get hyped about most things. But this year especially, I'm just finding so many things I don't want to waste my time with. What about you guys?
For me, it was a little bit challenging because like I was like thinking about it. And granted, I've pre-ordered a number of things.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For this year. And those didn't even like make my top 6. And it's very strange. I'm in this like weird, like I know I'm excited for it, but I'm not like max level excited for it. You know what I mean? Because like with one of my pre-orders, spoiler alert, Fire Emblem Engage comes out like imminently.
Yeah.
Like we're
like
recording
in a
the week. Yeah, we're tomorrow. Spoilers. We're recording the day before it releases, and I'm like so excited for it. But because it's like tomorrow, I didn't put it on this list. You know. And so I was trying to gauge my opinions about other things coming out, and I'm like, man, I am excited for it, but I'm also like, man, that's so far away.
Yeah.
So like my hype is just like kind of like very up and down right now.
Yeah, Tiffany couldn't put it on the list because she's already engaged, so she couldn't gauge it.
Hey,
Yeah,
there we
exactly.
go. There we go. Yeah, no, I'm totally with you. When I see the Metacritic, which is also the first hit of the year, well done, Tiffany. Getting like
Thank
right
you.
now, I think it's an 83. Like it's a
Yeah.
solid 13 points to start the year. I'm already hyped about it. Like you sent me that review, and I'm like, okay, all right. I finally get to use my Switch this year. I didn't even play one game on my Switch last year. So
Yeah.
pretty pumped about that. All right, let's just get to it. Who is anyone like burning to tell me their number 6 most hype thing?
I'm
Sure.
okay. Yeah, I was like,
I'll
step
go.
back because my
Okay.
number 6 is probably someone else's
Mostly
hype.
because, I'm Alex, by the way. Matt's hosting. That's Tiffany, the third voice you're hearing. We just didn't introduce ourselves. But
Listen,
that's
why
just
would I need to do
because
the job if you can do it better than me after,
I'm just saying
5
there
whole
was
minutes
so
after?
much hype that we started this episode with. We just had to skip over the introduction.
I mean,
There's
he
no
said our
time.
names. We just didn't associate our
I
voices
don't,
with
I don't
it.
actually think he did. I'm not
He
sure.
did.
We'll have
He
to,
said
I'll
he's-
listen back and see if he ever said anything.
He said our
I think he
names.
said your name, but he went unannounced and I went unannounced. So we're just two disembodied voices running around in this universe that we call life.
You need to
But
relax.
you know who has a name that many people know because he's also portrayed by an actor that many people love, and that is my number 6, John Wick Chapter 4.
What?
Oh my
That
gosh.
came out of nowhere.
So this movie comes
Wow.
out in March.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited for this. I've watched John Wick 1 through 3, Chapter 2, Chapter 3. And I've enjoyed all of these movies. I love Keanu Reeves in it. I think based on, the capabilities of Keanu's acting, I think this character really fits his personality and, style. And also, I just love the action. And with the promise of with Chapter 4 having, obviously more people in it, including Donnie Yen, Ip Man himself is playing a
Wow,
role
okay.
in this that I'm not unsure if this is the end of the John Wick franchise,
No,
but
it's
definitely
not. There's going to be
okay.
a 5.
Even better then, because then this is just going to be another great chapter in this long running series. So I'm looking forward to it. Love the first 3. I hope Chapter 4 lives up to it.
Will this be releasing on HBO Max immediately? Or is that kind of like by
I
the wayside?
don't know if it's going to be like simul premiering or whatever, but
Okay.
as far as I'm aware, it's only in theaters, but who knows?
Gotcha.
I mean, does WB own the John Wick franchise? Like, that's the thing that I don't know.
That I don't know either.
Okay.
I did see that HBO Max is delisting John Wick 1 through 3 on January 31st. And I have yet to see them. So that means in a week and a half, I need to watch all 3 John Wick movies. And this, I was already thinking that, but knowing that this is your number 6 most hype thing in 2023, Alex, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it for you. I'll give you my review for each one.
Oh,
I
I know you're going to enjoy it. You're
we
gonna enjoy it.
own the first 2, right? Like, I don't think I ever bought the third one.
We own
like-
at least the second one or first
The
one. I
first-
don't know if we own the second one, but yeah,
I think
we
I
own
think
at
we
least
own
one.
I think we own the first 2 because like I bought it on like a Black Friday. It was like $4 for the Blu-ray. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Like
Yeah.
I was like, give me the John Wicks because I have never seen them either, and then I really like them.
Okay, cool. Have you seen them all?
Yeah, I saw 1 through 3. I think for
Okay.
3 we might have rented that one or something. Like I had like a $4
Yeah, like the Amazon Prime rental.
Yeah, like
Oh, nice.
digital
Mhm.
discount. Yeah, so I do enjoy them, but I didn't realize that the 4th one was coming out so soon, like March.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy. Imminent. Well, let me tell you about something that may or may not be imminent, but it's likely to come out in 2023. One of the only things on my list that does not have an actual month and day, but we should be getting a trailer tomorrow at the time of recording, which is Invincible Season 2. This is their
Oh,
animated. It is from
the
it is a
Walking
comic.
Dead guy.
The Walking Dead creator wrote it. It's awesome. Season 1 is on Amazon Prime. It is fantastic. Honestly, like one of my favorite shows that I've seen on Amazon Prime. I am pumped for this. So pumped. They're going to release a trailer tomorrow. Hopefully, they stick the 2023. I think they will because they just released Invincible skins on Fall Guys. So it's like, listen, you put Invincible skins on Fall Guys, you might as well be, sign, seal, deliver, right? So hopefully, I love this show. If you want to watch it, you definitely should, because it is got a great shock value. And just the first episode, give it one episode, watch it, and if you like it, I'm sure you're gonna watch the whole thing. If it doesn't vibe with you, go on, do great things. But that first episode, I promise you, it will hook you in. It is so good, and it's kind of in the same vein as The Boys, where it's a superhero movie or TV show, and it's all about what it would actually be like in real life. It's not like Superman or Batman, where it's like, okay, they've got like rose-colored glasses. It is kind of like real life. What would superheroes act like to the rest of the world? And it's brilliant. I love it. Did either of you watch Invincible season 1?
I watched the first like 2.5 episodes, and I like paused because of the teen drama, which is
Yes,
honestly
the worst part of the show.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense why I would stop, because I've read like 4 YA young adult books in the last 3 weeks. So like it literally, but they were like fantasy young adult. It wasn't like high school young adult. So that's kind of a struggle. But you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot again. And then my follow-up question, actually, Matt, is you bought like the first volume or collection, right? Did you read that and enjoy it?
Yeah,
Like,
I bought the first of 3 compendiums. So all the comics are done. Like, it is a complete series. And I bought the first one after the first season. I got about halfway through, and then I got, sidetracked on other things. Honestly, I was thinking about this. Like, if they say Invincible season 2 is coming out in the next couple months, I will probably pick up that compendium and like, all right, this is my job now. Like, I just need to read through this, because it's huge. So it's kind of like, it's super bulky. Yeah, so it's tough to just like, oh, well, I'll just sneak in a few chapters here and there. You really have to like commit to it, because it's just gigantic. But fantastic. I love it. I love the art style, and I'm just a big sucker for a good comic. Big sucker.
And Matt does read. See, this is proof. You were calling out you don't read books, and then here you go. I know
it just has to be 99%
but
art.
Oh, okay.
And that's my jam. It's like, what if a baby that enjoys picture books never grew up? This is me, everybody.
I mean, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, so you're reading a lot.
That's true. Thanks, Al.
So my number 6 might be higher up on y'all's list, so this is why I'm glad I went last. My number 6 most hype, something I'm so hyped for, is Marvel's Spider-Man 2.
Yes, my number 2.
Number 2. That's so high. Is it on your
list?
list?
Number 1.
Oh, no!
Most hype thing.
Dang!
This is awesome.
Well, I'm sorry that I kind of stole your thunder, but like for me, I was like, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be real with you guys. This is the only video game on my list.
Mm-hmm.
But it's my Marvel Spider-Man 2. It's supposed to come out this year. I really hope it does. Listen, you guys, I'm fully prepared to take a day off for this game.
Yeah.
Like, if I have, if I have enough vacation time, I'm more than happy to take off a release day for something I'm excited about. Marvel Spider-Man 2 is something I would take a day. I would give myself a 3-day weekend so that I could completely enjoy and immerse myself in the game.
I was going to give Alex a chance.
I was like, oh, that's all the hype she asked for. I mean, that is a lot of hype. Because honestly,
that is a lot of hype.
I don't think I'm willing to take the day off, because what if it comes out on like a Wednesday?
Well,
like they did with Ragnarok.
Well, if it comes out on a Wednesday, I'll take off the Friday.
Oh,
like,
okay. It's like, no, I got
you need fully
commit.
Wednesday. You got to do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Just like knock it out.
Yeah, exactly.
This is my number 1.
Yeah,
you want to go?
Let me go first. This is my number 2. We'll build up.
Okay,
so we're going from
that sounds
6 to 2. I'm not as hype as Tiffany to be willing to take the day off, but I am very excited. It's actually one of only 2 video games on my list, actually. And so with this being one of the 2, despite us having only received 1 trailer in 2021, showing Miles, showing Peter, showing Venom, And now I forget off the top of my head, was it Craven the Hunter that was also in
Yep.
that trailer? Yes.
He was in it. Mm-hmm.
So the fact that we only know 4 like really big characters that are going to appear in this game, I can only imagine what they're willing to do, right? Especially with a lot of other Spider-Man things that have come out since then. Obviously, the animated movies, the live-action movie with Spider-Man No Way Home, and the fact that there will be more live-action Spider-Man movies in the future as well. And so I can only imagine them continuing to expand on a lot of the things that we haven't seen yet. Despite the fact that Venom's now making an appearance, and we have seen Venom already, both in the original Spider-Man trilogy and in those, Sony movies that Sony wants to make, but we won't talk about these 2 movies. But I'm really excited because I just want to see more. Not having read the comics, I don't know too much about, besides what we've seen in the more mainstream media.
Right.
And so the fact that they are, especially with someone like Kraven the Hunter, like it looks like they will delve deeper into these more maybe quote unquote niche like antagonists, or at least characters in the Spider-Man universe, that I'm interested to see. Because definitely, as much as I enjoy the big Avengers style, right, like 30, 40 superheroes, blanketing the screen at any one moment, or in Avengers, I think there's only like 11 playable characters or however many they added at this point. I just want to see more. I want to see more characters, more interaction, because I think obviously a lot of superhero stories are based on the interaction of the hero and the villain. So I want to see maybe something along the lines of having like that Batman v Joker, relationship, and have Spider-Man, I guess Venom being one of those characters, but whoever else he has to deal with.
Yeah, like I am so hyped for this. Obviously, this is my number 1. This is a game that I honestly think will be my game of the year. I cannot imagine that this will not be in my game of the year discussion at the end of the year, as long as it releases. Now, do I think it will? Yes, it's Insomniac. They, like we talked about last week, they don't sleep, right? It's in the name. I think the best part about this game is just the history. I think, my favorite superhero is Batman. DC Comics, definitely have read more DC Comics than Marvel Comics. But as far as my Marvel character that I love the most, it's Spider-Man. It always has been. It goes along with Batman the Animated Series, and, within a couple years, Spider-Man the Animated Series came out, and it is just Saturday morning cartoons where I get to know all these niche characters. I get to know all these, like, these characters that are not portrayed in the movies, and I am so excited because back in the day, Spider-Man, the Raimi trilogy, Spider-Man happened. Spider-Man was good. It was a good game. It was, I don't know if you guys played this. You're swinging from building to building, and basically you have fog underneath the buildings, and if you fell below it, you died. But it basically was just a traversal from one building to another. In the buildings, you had some combat. It was a fine video game. But then in Spider-Man 2 for GameCube, one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm talking about top 5 games of all time, just because of how much I played that game. The traversal, everything about it just added to it. Of course, it's not the same developer, but in my mind, that's almost where my expectations are. We had something awesome with 2018. We had fantastic characters, we had great story, we had awesome combat and great locomotion. Everything about that game, in my mind, was perfect. Besides, maybe a little bit of Mary Jane staying a little bit on screen for a little bit too much. Then from there, Miles Morales, awesome. Just a bite-sized adventure. Now combining both of those, I am just so excited for this game.
Hyped.
Like I cannot wait to see what they do, because I don't think that they're going to lose any momentum. I think they are just going to go full steam ahead. And I hope they play into some of these weird characters. I hope it's very much like an Arkham City mentality of, oh, we have this weird side quest with Calendar Man. Like, no one knows Batman's villain Calendar Man, but there is a quest in Arkham City about Calendar Man. I hope they find all Spider-Man's equivalent of Calendar Man and shove it into this game, because I think it's just going to be awesome. Just give them an opportunity to just write out all these characters that have thousands of stories. as your backlog. So I know I talked a lot about it, but it's my number one hype, and it's there for a reason. When I was having a hard time making this list, the only thing that didn't change was this was number one, and my number two was number two. Everything else changed multiple times.
So my question for you, Matt, are you going to take a day off for Spidey Boy?
I never take off for games, I'll be honest, but I might. Because here's the thing. I'm now very well into my career post-residency to where I have a lot of PTO. So I've got like plenty of PTO to just like throw out the window. And you know what? If I might as well take a day off, I might as well take a day off for Spider-Man 2, everybody.
Yeah, for
Get
real.
with it.
Dude, don't get the payout. Take the day off. You know what I mean? Like, who
He
needs
just
more
might
money?
be conveniently sick that day, you know, and then he has to take off, and it's like, I'm sorry, someone's gonna have to cover for me.
Sorry, I got bit by a spider. I hope I'm all right. I also don't need glasses anymore.
I'm about the hype and living my life, and I've taken off for video games, you know, took off for Kingdom Hearts 3, or like I've scheduled days off like
What a game.
suspiciously, like conveniently for myself. A couple of times it has burned me, like the time I took a day off for Infinity War and then they literally moved the movie up.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was
Yeah.
like, I couldn't, it was too late for me to like
That's
change
funny.
my day off because, you know, working in a hospital at the time is like near impossible. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, I'm so glad we're all on the same train. At least like it made
Yeah.
our list, you know, it made all of our lists. That's woo.
It made all of our list. This is like the Venn diagram. I feel like Spider-Man 2 is going to be our Venn diagram, and maybe we'll never meet ever again. Maybe that's our one overlap.
I think I have one more overlap with somebody, but that's it.
Yeah, I think so.
Can I talk about my number 5?
Sure.
So my number 5 comes out on April 7th, and that is the Super Mario Brothers movie.
That's my number 5 also.
No
Wow.
way!
That's
I was
awesome.
So excited. So I know Matt is excited for this, but I could understand if you're way more hyped for other things.
It was my number 8
number
on
8
the list.
Okay.
It was on the short list.
So Super Mario Brothers, the movie, the every trailer, every scene, everything I've seen of it looks so good, and I'm like almost depressed, or not depressed, but like I'm almost disappointed that they showed off Rainbow Road already, like with the whole Mario Kart, because I think I would have like screamed in the
Yeah.
theater. Like,
Oh yeah.
if I
you
saw it.
still will. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's true. But it looks so good. All the care and love that's been put into the animation for all the little Easter eggs and everything has been such a joy to see. And I'm like so excited for it. And I generally like most of the voice cast. Chris Pratt as Mario is still a little strange for me, but you know, I'll watch the movie and I'll deal with it, because otherwise it's such a feast for your eyes. And also it's so cool that, you know, in Hollywood Studio, or not Hollywood Studios, my bad. In Universal Studios in Hollywood, they're opening the Super Mario or Nintendo World section of Universal Studios in February. So like I'm even more, I feel like I'm even get more jazzed seeing people like go to the park and experience that, because, you know, seeing what they've done in Japan is so amazing, and I can't wait to see what they do in America too. But yeah, I'm so excited for this movie and I can't wait. I won't be taking a day off for this one, but I definitely would try to see it on like the Thursday before it comes out.
I'm there with you. Like I'm gonna watch it that Thursday, even though it's number 8 on my list. Like I am planning on watching it that night. Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
And I'm actually on the opposite end, where it only made my list because of that trailer that they showed off Rainbow Road in. Because I feel like that trailer showed a lot of what they're willing to put into the movie. And not to say that, oh, maybe they think it's not going to do well, so they're just putting everything into it, or maybe they're not planning to do any more. But regardless of whatever that situation for the future is, I appreciate that they are willing to put what they are in this movie to make it that at least here we're showing everything of Mario. And, you know, especially if you're the rare situation of not having experienced anything Mario, despite how pervasive that IP is in the world today, that, you know, in case you don't know, you're going to be able to experience what Mario is in this movie. Like you'll see everything from, the warp pipes, from, Princess Peach being a badass, to Mario Kart, to even the Cheep Cheeps, sucking off Mario's face or his whole body, who knows.
Yeah.
And it just being, this is what Mario is, but in a movie format. And, even if you don't want to play the games or don't enjoy the games, you can at least enjoy the IP this way. So I am anticipating it to see all these things that I've played through, in the past decades of my life, and to be able to enjoy that, visually is going to be a treat.
Yeah, this is going to be a great movie. There's nothing else to say. Like I'm very excited for this movie. I think, I don't know if Chris Pratt's voice has sold me yet, but I think it's one of those things that when we watch it, I think it'll be okay. There's something that tells me like we're gonna be okay. Like I wasn't a huge fan at the beginning of Ryan Reynolds voicing Pikachu in Detective Pikachu, but then when I watched the movie, I was like, no, that's actually pretty good. Like I kind of like it.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe that's just gonna be me, but I think I'm gonna be okay with it once I watch it. So should be fun. So my number 5 is something that was actually my number 3 right before we recorded this podcast. And I was telling them behind the scenes, I was saying, you know what? I just don't know if I'm as hype for this game, even though it has huge name recognition. Probably one of the biggest name recognition because it's also won the most anticipated game of 2023 at the Game Awards this past year. And that's The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. I am a huge Legend of Zelda fan. Huge fan. I am very, very, very excited for this game. I think this game is going to be top notch. I think it's going to be scoring 9s and 10s all over the place. I hope I'm at a weird place because I'm very hyped for it. I'm very excited. The problem with this, and this is where the caveat begins, and this is why it's number 5 on my list and not number 3, is that Breath of the Wild to me is always going to be the second best game on the Nintendo Switch behind Super Mario Odyssey. And I am hoping that Tears of the Kingdom can maybe make that jump. But I don't know. If Super Mario Odyssey was coming out, or Super Mario Odyssey 2 was coming out this year, I'd be talking about Super Mario Odyssey 2. Probably as my number 1 spot or number 2 spot.
Right.
But I think Tears of the Kingdom is going to be great. I think for this time, like when I got my Switch when they both came out, and I played Super Mario Odyssey. All my friends played Breath of the Wild. And so by the time I beat Mario Odyssey and went to Breath of the Wild, everybody's like hype level was still high, but like everyone's already experienced everything and I didn't really have anybody to talk to. So I'm really excited to kind of have that experience this time where I'm playing it, Tiffany's playing it, Alex is playing it, Yasser's playing it, like everybody's playing it. And we're all talking about this together. And I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the community of it.
Alex will not be playing it, but I will be playing it.
Yeah, I was kind of just, just manifesting that.
Or he was just
seeing what would happen.
It for the effect, you didn't have to point it out to dash his hopes. But
well, Alex likes to dash my hopes all the time because I've literally asked him, like, are you playing Tears of the Kingdom? He's like, nah, probably not. And I was like, okay.
You know what, Nintendo? What will get me to play Tears of the Kingdom if you show it in a trailer before the game comes out?
If Zelda's playable?
Make Zelda playable.
Ooh. Okay. That might happen. You never know.
Because it's called The Legend of Zelda, not The Legend of Link.
Oh. Yeah, that's been there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty excited for it too. I honestly, like, the more I think about it, like, that should actually be the game that I take off for, but I'm not. Like, I just anticipate that particular game to just be so much and, like, so much to do.
It's going to be massive.
Yeah, that you totally would need the time off. But I know in my heart that I might get overwhelmed again and only put in 40 hours and then I'll stop. But I'll love those 40 hours that I put in, But I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you and for us.
Yeah. I think it's going to be that Elden Ring thing where, we're, maybe not, maybe me and Alex in this, in this example, me and Alex are walking around and he's talking about like, oh yeah, I like went south, like I'm south, somewhere, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I haven't even gone south this entire time. Like, what is even down there? And there's a
Yeah.
whole like island down there. There's a whole quest line down there, and I had no idea. Like, I am excited to be texting you, Tiffany, and like texting whoever. Yasser's not gonna play it either. I'll be texting
Yeah.
whoever.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm
I
gonna
went
be
to
like,
the sky.
It's all
Yeah.
unraveling.
I mean, this guy. It's just me and Tiffany, actually. I'll be I guess you're my only friend that's playing this, Tiffany. I'll be texting you and be like, "Did you go east or west?"
I'll be like, I went up.
I'm just excited for that. My
I'm
buddy
so
James, he'll play it because
Yeah.
he loved Breath of the Wild, so he should be playing it too.
Yeah. Excellent.
All right, so who's doing number 4? Are we do we keep the mold broken?
Yeah, let's
Alex,
just
why
go
don't you
for
go
it.
number 4?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you-
go
yeah,
for
you
it.
I
go
go
for it.
number 4. All right, maybe this is on your guys' list. It's a movie, and this
Ooh.
was my most anticipated of last year, but it got pushed. So now it's my
Ooh.
number 4 this year, and that is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1.
This
Excellent.
is my number 4.
Wow,
Well done,
you
we did
matched
it.
up.
Aaron in the fields.
Yeah.
There
We
go.
did it.
So Tiffany and I had a connection with the Mario Brothers movie, and then
Yeah.
Matt and I have a connection with.
Who
Across
would
the
have thought
Spider-Verse.
Alex was the glue to keep RXP together?
Well, now we need you two to find a shared hype level.
we do.
But you're quickly running out of spots for that.
Yeah,
so
I
who
was like,
knows if that'll
we
happen.
might, but I don't know. Okay. So,
All right.
Wow.
It's my brief synopsis. Back last year in 2022 was my most anticipated because that's when Sony Pictures, Sony Animation was projecting a potential release date. As the year went on, they made the announcement, hey, we're going to have to push this out of 2022. And so now it has a release date. Tentatively, as of recording, it's now June 2nd of this year. So hopefully it does come out on time. But it's my number 4. Previously my number 1. I think part of it is the push out, despite me Marvel Spider-Man 2 the game being my number 2 most anticipated of the year. I think there is that dissonance, at least for me, of saying, I just put games above other media, right? I love the interactivity of games, I love the engagement of games, and everything else doesn't really meet that bar. But alongside that, I enjoy Spider-Man as a character, and so I enjoy the idea of multiverses. So the fact that Into the Spider-Verse already dealt with that in terms of exposing the audiences to say, hey, listen, there are nigh infinitesimal numbers of Spider-Men out there, different versions, right, that
Yeah.
exist. And so here's a hodgepodge of all of them. Heck, even Nick Cage himself can be a Spider-Man if you want to, Spider Noir, shout out. But I'm anticipating Across the Spider-Verse, increase that. And also, I love the aesthetic of Into the Spider-Verse.
Love it.
Like the animation
Yes.
style, Sony Animation Studios did such a great job that I'm I don't really care about the story. I just want to see great animation, great visual effects, and ways of telling story right through animation that you didn't think possible. And I think that's really one of the main advantages when you go with an animated style, is that right, you're able to put your suspension of disbelief at the door, and whatever happens on the screen you roll with it, and hopefully it looks great. And if they tell a great story using that, that's the main advantage of it. So definitely I'm excited.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great movie. I love the art style. I love the aesthetic of it looking like a comic book. And I love that they put those in the Spider-Man games. Like, they mimic that art book look by having a 15 FPS model in a 60 FPS world. And that's how they can make it look choppy and it's a frame by frame. I just love that artistic, where art meets technology and where they collide. And it's just beautiful. This movie's going to be great. I think it's not as high. It's my second most anticipated movie of this year, and it's not my number 1 because it's part 1. I have a big issue with part 1s in general,
fair.
splitting up a movie into 2. I think it just decreases the natural climax. And you almost have to make smaller peaks to make it 2 movies. That's beside the point. I think this is still going to be an awesome movie. And I think I think it just shows like the scale of this movie. Besides, the first one, which was awesome. Honestly, one of my favorite Marvel products of recent years. Like one of the best movies, one of the best Marvel movies of all time was the first Into the Spider-Verse. And I am just so stoked for it. Like this is going to be a great film. I cannot wait. I think June 2nd they're going to hit that, and it just adds to a banger of a summer. Like I don't know if you guys looked at what movies are happening this summer, but it's going to be wild. Like Indiana Jones happens like a couple days after, or a couple days the end of that month. Mission Impossible the next month. Like it is going to be wild. And I think this is a great way to kick it off. So good. So good.
I'm really excited for this movie as well. But for me, I think like I haven't seen as many trailers and stuff as the Super Mario Brothers movie. So this is like it didn't make my list, but it probably would be number 7, I think. But like I am very excited. Like I'm gonna see it also the Thursday before it comes out. Like Alex, are you gonna make your way to the theater for it?
Maybe, you know.
That'd be awesome.
Yep.
That would be awesome. It's gonna be great.
So my number 4 is a show that I just discovered actually has a release window, and that is Apple TV's The Foundation Season 2.
Okay.
That will be coming out summer 2023, and I'm really excited for it because I just want to see what happens. In the first season of The Foundation, it has 3 different like plot lines that are kind of going like simultaneously, like you're watching simultaneously, and I enjoyed, you know, like 2 plot lines more than the last one, but they finally kind of come together at the end of this first season. So I'm very excited to see where it goes. So we'll see if it makes my hype list or, you know, top 2023 experience at the end of the year, because it totally did make my list. I believe in 2020.
Okay.
No, 2021. Maybe it was 2021. Because, like, basically, the year of 2022, we got no Foundation. And I was like, where is it? Give it to me. Yep. Yep.
I still need to watch it. I have it pinned to watch next, but fantastic. I can't wait to watch it because you're so hyped about it. So I'm like, okay, if Tiffany's this hype about it, like, I gotta watch it.
I really hope you like it.
All right. We ready for number 3?
Yeah.
I'll go number 3 this time. Just to complete chaos.
Yeah.
My number 3 is a game that's potentially shrouded in a little bit of drama. But I just can't help myself. Because number 3 is Hogwarts Legacy. Because this game looks amazing. I don't know if it's on either of your list. Tiffany was my only hope for this one.
Honestly, like, I was like, this needs to be put on my list. Like, this needs to. But then I was like, man.
And then it's not.
And then it's not. It's not. But the more, like,
that would have been the connective tissue.
Hold on.
That would have been the connective tissue.
Matt, like, talking about it almost makes me want to replace my number 3. Because, like, the moment you said it, I was even more excited. You know what? Let's do it. Like, we're doing it. Number 3, Matt. Number 3. It's my number 3. Get that thing off my list. I'm not even going to move it up.
Chaos.
I'm not going to move it up to 2 or 1 because 2 or 1 can't be stopped. You're right. This is it.
Let's talk about it. Like,
let's talk
Hogwarts Legacy looks fantastic. I just watched a trailer that has Simon Pegg just talking about it, and he's just like a lovely person. He's like, you know, I knew my letter would come eventually. Like, I'm literally the last British actor to get asked to do anything for for Harry Potter. I think this, oh gosh, every trailer that I watch, I hear that music and I get transported to wanting to get my letter when I was a kid.
Yes.
And I just cannot get over this feeling that I am still 12 thinking about Harry Potter all the time. Listen, I don't read. I do this. Like, I have read Harry Potter because guess what? I'm a millennial. That's what we do. Yeah. This is what we come for, and this is what we're going to do.
Exactly.
This game looks so good. I cannot wait. I think it has a huge potential of flopping in so many different ways. But it's one of those IPs that I think of so fondly that I'm okay with it. I just want to be in that world. I want to walk to class. I want to go into the like forbidden forest and I want to, you know, blast Death Eaters in the face. And I'm not gonna freaking do a curse on my classmates because
Yeah.
listen, I'm a Hufflepuff. I'm no Slytherin. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I am ready for this game.
Are you
And
though?
this is the thing. This is the thing. When I was looking at my list, and this was number 5 first, and
Yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom was 3, I was like, how could I do that? Hogwarts Legacy, I am so much more hype for this
Yep.
game than Legend of Zelda.
I have a slight question. Did they explain, like, for the sorting, is there actually going to be like a sorting hat thing, or are you just going to be able to choose your house?
I have not looked into that, but I thought I read somewhere that they might you could import your like Pottermore.
I feel like I
sorting.
heard that too, yeah.
I heard, but don't quote me, audience. Please, listeners, be
Mhm.
kind. I'm like sort of like I've watched all the trailers, the state of plays for Hogwarts Legacy. I've watched the freaking common room tours,
Mhm.
for every house. But there are things that I still don't know about it, so I'm not sure. But I will murder. I will murder
Well,
my character if I get
well,
sorted into the
yeah.
house that is not my house.
Yeah, I was
That is-
going
I
to
will
ask, like,
start
are you going to
over.
accept fate? If
No.
the sorting hat is all...
No.
I am a Ravenclaw, and I will
Okay.
Through and
murder my
through.
character
You're
through and through.
going to burn the hat, is what you're saying.
Yeah. So, honestly, like you talking about this, Matt, like I'm even more excited. So I'm like, should this have been my number one? But it's too late. This is where
It's
we're
too
at right
late,
now. Have you see? I pre-ordered the deluxe edition. I specifically pre-ordered
did.
it because I wanted to play it 3 days early. I am playing
Okay.
it on February 7th. It is gonna release February 10th. I actually did take off February 8th. However, but not for reasons not to play this game, even though I'm like kind of devastated about it, but I had to take off for my real job so that I could do
Oh.
something for my part-time job.
That's hilarious.
I have to do PAL certification, Matt.
Oh,
Like I'm
gotcha.
recerting it.
That's
So
hilarious.
yeah, so gotta take care of those pediatric patients, y'all.
That's right.
So on February 8th, I will be attending like a class, but if that was not on my schedule, I would have just been like, I'm taking off on the 8th because I gotta play Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But that evening on February 7th, that morning, I'm gonna be like making sure it's updating, downloaded, and ready so that by the evening time, I'm gonna get in there and be a student at Hogwarts.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm so excited for this. Alex, do you have any bit of excitement for it, or are you just going to live through it with us?
Yeah.
I mean, having, watched every single one of the movies and having read up to book 5, I have like a moderate amount of Harry Potter like knowledge. I guess for me, that world has never brought me in like that, where I'm like dying for the next piece of like content that's like in universe or something.
Yeah.
So I'm not, this isn't on my top 6 at all. I would probably dare say it wouldn't even be my top 10 if we had a top 10 published list. But it is something I am interested in because this seems like the most wholehearted attempt at making at least an RPG style game in this universe. And I just hope for the people that do love the universe, like this is the game for them, right? Because I feel like a lot of IP out there, especially when it's not based in games, right, where it is a book or a movie or, it's fabricated, not in a way that you can interact with it, that a lot of the times when they make something, right, it's, people just call it's licensed trash, right? It's just a spin-off thing. It's not really fun to play. And, maybe you call some of the old, right, they did the movie tying games, back on the PS2 360 era. So I can't attest to the quality of those, but this definitely doesn't seem like that. Obviously there's no movies coming out that it ties into, so that's a benefit, but also it looks like hopefully this is a real let's be a student, let's learn some magic, let's learn some spells, and let's go on this adventure dealing with this time period, right? That's hasn't been explored before either, right? This isn't in any of the books. This isn't in the movies. And so you can enjoy this brand new experience, and canon story, I guess, right? Because it is canon, I assume.
I
think so.
I think
Okay.
so. I think so. I'm actually really happy that they're not it's not Harry and Ron, we're not running around and I'm like, my name is Schmarley, and I'm like parallel with Harry and stuff, and I become his fourth friend or whatever. I really like that I get to be I'll get to role play, hopefully, my own witch.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but I think they're gonna be. It's such a rich lore that they have. Like even in one of the trailers, like one of the professors is Professor Weasley, and so it's like it's going to be weird to know some of the family trees and where they line up.
Yeah.
Because the Simon Pegg's character, he is Severus's great grandfather or something. He is a black, so it's pretty interesting. I think it's gonna be really cool, and he's actually the same headmaster that told Dumbledore asked to go send a message in one of the movies. He's in one of the frames.
Paintings.
So it's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be really fun. Can't wait. Can't
yeah, and I think we might see some characters that are ghosts in Harry, in Harry's years, but they're not ghosts, in this time period.
They haven't ghostified yet.
They haven't died, Alex.
They haven't died.
Ghostified.
Ghostified.
What if you killed them? Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. I'm so Matt. Okay, tell me this: are you just gonna wait till the Friday, not getting that deluxe edition? It does cost.
I could probably be swayed.
Okay. I
So
mean,
we'll see.
no
I
pressure.
think
I'm not about peer pressuring.
I think I have a day off that week. If I have a day off that week, the second half of that week already, I'll for sure do it because I'll just spend the whole day doing that. Done.
Yes.
It's settled. I am interested, Tiffany. What did this replace? Is what you replaced? Is it gone forever?
No, yes. I mean, it's not my number 1 or 2. So it replaced Shadow and Bone season 2 that's coming out on March 16th.
Okay. I wondered if that came out this year.
It's going to come out March 16th. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm actually anticipating that one a lot, which is why it's sort of it's number 3. Because I've even the moment I heard it was March 16th, I messaged you but this was 2 months ago.
Okay.
I messaged everybody. I messaged everyone who I knew that watched the show or I wanted them to watch the show. I was like, guys, March 16th. And, this is one of the few well adapted young adult books into a new genre or into a new medium that I've seen in a long time. So yeah, but honestly, I'm still jazzed about Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah. So I'm glad, Matt, you are the conductor of hype. So
I love it. I'm
so glad you brought me. You made me realize the mistake I had made. It's
all aboard. Choo choo. Shadow and Bone, just to give it its due, one of Tiffany's earliest recommendations to me on this pod that I took to heart, and it was awesome. So if you haven't seen Shadow and Bone season 1, you should go watch it now.
Yeah,
go do it.
Such a fun fantasy. It's just a quick fantasy jaunt.
Super fun powers, supernatural powers, and awesome visual effects. We talked about that in the moment, but those visual effects are awesome. They're really good. Really, really good. Yeah, not even good for a Netflix show. I know you were about to say that.
Yeah.
Not even just good for a Netflix show. Good. Anyway, it's one of those things where the One Piece live action, I hope it has visual effects like that. That's what I want. That's all I want. Okay, who has number 2? I only have one left. I only have my number 2. Who wants to go for number 2?
I'll go number 2 then. I'm gonna go. Wait, I
saw my number 3.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay. Sorry. Whoops.
Lord, sorry, Alex. Go for it.
So we probably won't spend too much time on this, but it's an anime. So I think this is the only anime that's made any of our lists. and I don't even know if it's an anime you guys know of because I don't know if you watch more recent stuff, but is Jujutsu Kaisen season 2.
I've heard of it
Okay.
because you've talked about it.
So, long story short, for those that don't know, it's essentially, I would equate it to, in terms of hype for, I guess, quote unquote, like this generation of anime watchers,
Mm-hmm.
it'd probably be similar to Naruto in terms of like popularity. Like, it's that thing where this is
Ooh.
a good shonen anime. Like, this isn't like amazing, it's not groundbreaking, but it's very solid, great animation style, great aesthetic, and it has very good action. And I think it is one of those things where it's to say that you might, I'm not hyping this up to be like this is one of the best animes of all time, it should be in the top 10 or whatever, right? There's many
Mhm.
there's many animes I would put over this for a top 10 list. But I would say that if you're looking for something that is quality, that is something that you just want to watch as good feels of like, I know this is going to look great and I'm probably going to enjoy it. And there are at least some funny moments, right? Because obviously there's going to be the comic relief character, even one of the relationships. I don't want to spoil too much, but I'd say at least watch the first season. That's already out. Season 2 is coming this year. I guess also another comparison would be it's in the same vein as Demon Slayer. So people that might have
Okay.
heard that name,
Mhm.
Kimetsu no Yaiba is the Japanese name of that. But it's in that line of like, these are just good animes and they're getting, their next season, and I'm really anticipating it. And I'm also, just hopping back into that anime watching mood. And so
Mhm.
this is coming at a good time where I'm like, man, I haven't watched anime in a while. Like, what do I want to watch? Oh, why not watch like this follow-ups to some things I've already seen and I know I enjoy. So I know that these are
Yeah,
going to be good, solid watches like going forward.
Cool. I mean,
that's awesome.
that's great. I do feel like, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, that I'm reading like Korean comics. I definitely feel like I'm more inclined, or I'm like, man, I really want to watch an anime now, because
Mhm.
like I'm reading comics and stuff. But okay, so
You
I'm
know,
going to say my
Netflix has a lot of anime on it
Oh,
too. Like
yes.
like a ton. I
And that's,
clicked
I do
the
want to shout that
category and I was
out,
like, whoa.
where it is becoming much more accessible, especially to Western audiences, to watch anime. So I definitely appreciate Netflix taking that, like, right, becoming one. Not to say they're the first and foremost platform, right? Because obviously Crunchyroll still exists amongst
Mhm.
other things. But I do appreciate companies taking it to heart to be like, hey, we might not dub it, but at least we'll, license the subs and
Yeah.
get it broadcasting so you can watch it wherever you are. As a final note, I just want to note, Jujutsu Kaisen does have explicit scenes in terms of like gore and violence. So that's just a warning in case you're going
Right.
into this thinking it's all nice and flowers. It's like, no, it's kind of intense in moments.
I mean,
I've
same
been
with like
watching a
Invincible,
brutal
right?
anime. Oh yeah, Invincible's very brutal. People get like ripped in half and stuff. It's like crazy. Um, I've been watching this anime Dora Di Doro. It's got a really cool animation style. So, but
Is that on
it's
Netflix?
it is on Netflix. I think it's a Netflix original. It's like a Netflix anime. It's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. All
Honestly,
right,
you
Tiffany.
talking about
Oh, go ahead.
this though. Oh, very briefly, I was gonna say that like I still need to watch like One Punch Man, like
Oh
more
yeah.
One Punch Man, because I think season 2. I don't know. Oh, a third season. It was they were gonna make a third season, but I guess that's not out yet. Okay. Anyway, okay. So
Gotcha.
my number two is coming out on March 1st. Does anyone think that they know what this is?
March 1st. No, I have no idea.
Mandalorian season 3. I gotta see.
I forgot about
How
Mandalorian. Oh my
how could
gosh.
you forget? We have a date, Matthew. Pedro Pascal as dad. With he's having a dad revival. You know what I mean? He's
He is.
daddy. He's daddy of the year right now because he's doing
He's Last of Us dad right now.
Yeah, he's Last of Us dad right now, and now he's gonna be back to Grogu's dad. And I am so hyped. The newest trailer made me so excited to see baby Grogu and him back together. And I realized that if people didn't watch Boba Fett, they're like, what is happening? Like, how are they back together again? But they're back, baby. Like, they got together in Boba Fett. I watched the last 2.5 episodes of that season, of the Boba Fett season, just to watch Grogu and Mando. And I'm so jazzed. Like, I'm so excited for it.
I can't believe I forgot about this. Honestly, the only 2 good episodes in Boba Fett were the Mandalorian episodes. Yeah. So it is crazy. Like, it is like, oh, okay. So Mandalorian is good not because of Star Wars, but because Pedro Pascal. Like, okay, so he can play that character. This guy got it. It's just not the same. I cannot wait. This is great. I can't believe it. Like, this probably would have made my list if I had remembered it, and I should have remembered it because you just sent me something on Instagram like 2 weeks ago, maybe even a week ago, about the Mandalorian. So
no, I don't.
No. I've got my most hyped movie in my number 2, so I'd hate to do that to it.
But
okay,
listen,
Grogu, one tier.
I'm so excited. But this is what this episode's about, you know? Like, we're telling each other what we're hyped for, and then sometimes you get on the hype train and sometimes you can't, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm still going to watch it day one. Yeah.
Exactly.
It might be the only thing to save my Disney Plus membership, you know?
No. There's more. But anyway, Alex, what is your number 2?
Oh, yeah, my number 2 was already covered, so I'll just say it again. Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Right. Okay.
So.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true.
All right, my number 2, my number 1 movie, most anticipated movie of 2023, and I just want to shout out, there's some banger movies coming out in 2023.
Yeah.
I've already mentioned some of them. Other ones I haven't. Hunger Games coming back.
Yeah.
Songbirds and Snakes coming out in November. Wonka even coming out in December of next year.
Yeah, that's gonna be weird. I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm always intrigued by doll stories.
Okay.
Like the Roald Dahl, you know, like James and the Giant Peach, you know, Wonka. I'm very, very interested.
The BFG.
The BFG. I think it'll be interesting. I think, you know, Timothée Chalamet is the golden child right now. So he is getting whatever he wants, and I think he's doing a good job. Dune 2. I haven't seen Dune 1, but I'm excited for that too.
Dune 2 almost made my list, but I held
almost.
off.
Okay.
I watched Dune 2 in theaters and
Dune
on
1.
HBO Max. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Dune
1.
1. I saw it like on HBO, like at someone's house, and then I went to the theater and watched it again because I was like, I need to see this on the big screen.
Yeah, I listened to a movie podcast and they were all hyped for Dune 2, and it makes me want to watch it. So I have HBO Max now, so I will probably be watching it in the next couple weeks. But my number 2, my most anticipated movie experience of 2023 is Oppenheimer. It is the new
Christopher
Nolan?
Nolan?
New classic from Christopher Nolan. It has Cillian Murphy as the main character, the scientist who was, you know, instrumental in making weapons of mass destruction that were used back in the day. And kind of, I think it goes like more into like the psychological effects of it all. I am a huge Christopher Nolan fan. Probably one of my favorite directors, if not my favorite director. Everything that he does is just fantastic in my mind. I love how crazy of a man he is. He's just like kind of a madman. Like, I'll never forget seeing that stat of like, for Interstellar, he planted all that corn for that one scene where they're just like driving through the cornfields.
Yeah.
And then he ended up like harvesting all that corn and made a profit that went into the budget. Like, the dude is just wild as far as visual effects. For this one, it's about like dropping a nuke. And he's like, oh yeah, we're not using any visual effects for that. Like, it's all practical. And it's like, what is that even what? Excuse me. What? What do you mean you're not using CGI? Like, I have no idea. The dude's a madman. Like, I am so excited. I think this is going to be my favorite film, or at least what I'm anticipating to be my favorite film of the year. Christopher Nolan is definitely my speed as far as movies go. And he's got a great cast. He's Pugh is in this. Florence Pugh is in it with Cillian Murphy. There's just a ton of people. Like, you watch that trailer, they're not even listed, but like huge name actors and actresses just in the background doing things. Like, Christopher Nolan just has a way to bring everyone to the yard to have just a fantastic film. I'm so stoked. This is definitely going to be my favorite movie of the year, and it's going to be at a great time. It's what time is it? It is July 21st, so right in the blockbuster movie time frame. So very, very excited for it. I cannot wait. I will see this when it comes out immediately.
Awesome. I've never,
right.
I like Christopher Nolan, but I still haven't seen Dunkirk. And to be honest, like, I don't know, like that style of like war movie doesn't really interest me at this moment in time. But if you come back and say Oppenheimer's like life changing, like I'll give it a whirl.
I will say Dunkirk is critically acclaimed. Dunkirk is. The cinematography, fantastic. I think the audio design is great in Dunkirk. I am not as interested in rewatching Dunkirk as I am with most other things because it just doesn't have that like thriller, psychological, like what am I actually watching? That's what I love about Christopher Nolan.
Right.
And I think it's going to get back to form with this. Tenet was awesome. Tenet is a little bit too far, like too much Christopher Nolan. Hopefully this is kind of a return to form. So we'll see.
Okay. Alex, you want to go with your... Because we're on to number 1, right?
Numero uno, yeah. Because mine, I'll just say it one more time.
Yeah.
Marvel Spider-Man 2 was my number 1. Well done.
Excellent.
Okay. Who else?
Alex, you go for it. You're number 1.
Wait, so what was your number 2?
My number 2?
Yeah.
It was Mandalorian.
Oh, okay. I forgot that you started.
It's what happens when we go into chaos when we start listing them off.
Yeah.
All right, my number 1. It's a video game, as is normally my number. Actually, no, because last year was Across the Spider-Verse.
I think I know what it is.
Yeah.
My number 1.
I think we all know what it is.
Yeah.
It is Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 6.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, the game that came out 25 years ago. You know, there's not much to say about this. It's mostly I've, you know, recently coming off of Crisis Core Final Fantasy 7 Reunion. God, got that title straight, you know. And enjoying the combat in that game. Obviously, it's more of a spin-off of Final Fantasy 7 Remake's combat, so it won't be that much similar to what 16 is trying to do, but having finished that game last month really put me back in the mood of reminding me I love Final Fantasy. Like every single time they try something different, you know, despite the flaws that Final Fantasy 15 had when that came out in 2017, that was still a fun game. I think at the end of the day, even though the Adamantoise fight in that game where it had like 10 million HP, and I think it legit took me 1 hour of like chipping away at it to like kill it was kind of overkill. There was still something fun about, you know, 4 boys in a convertible, you know, driving down the dirt road, right? Like that was just fun.
Chilling.
And I think it's just going to be a similar thing, not the 4 boys going on a road trip vibe, but with Final Fantasy 16 being, this is their attempt at a more, I guess, pure action style Final Fantasy. So a lot of this looks like, right, it's going to be reaction based. You're pressing your attack buttons. You got to be dodging, probably parrying, using your specials. And most importantly, what I enjoy in most Final Fantasies are the summon battles where you'll be controlling the summons and in some cases also fighting summons while you're not as a summon. And doing these just gigantic like kaiju style, you know, if recently any of you listeners out there played Bayonetta 3, basically think like that, where it's like just 2 big like monsters fighting each other. Like that's what this is going to be. It's going to be, you know, Garuda fighting Ifrit. It's going to be, you know, Shiva fighting Titan. And I just think that this is the spectacle that I love to see out of Final Fantasy. Like Final Fantasy 15, the summon animations were amazing. Like obviously you couldn't really control when you use them because the way they designed it that game was they only appeared under certain battle conditions. So it kind of felt like the summons in 15 were like get out of jail, like free cards where it's like, oh, you're low HP, like use this summon to like clear out the field so you can escape. Whereas in this case, it's going to be more about, it is about these characters. It's about the characters wielding the summons. So basically what they call the dominants, which are essentially, in another Naruto reference, let's bring it back in. They're the Jinchuriki. So essentially
Yeah.
they have the spirit of this like summon that they harness within themselves and that they can manifest and utilize like on command. And so it's everything's wrapping up where I think this might be my favorite Final Fantasy. And I think
Wow.
that'll be hard to do considering my favorite is 7 as of right now. I do enjoy the original Final Fantasy 7 the most. So if this can triumph that, which I really think it will based on everything I've seen, that's why it's my number one, because I just think this is going to be a good time. It's coming out June 23rd. This is also right up there. It's not a movie, but it's the beginning of that summer blockbuster season, as Matt mentioned, with the whole movie field. So I think this is going to fall right in line. And I think it's coming out at a great time because it's falling into that period where, at least as of right now, not a lot of other things are coming out. And so I think a lot of people are going to be able to also, get to this if they want to, right? It's not in the cluster of just great releases because this is a solid month after Tears of the Kingdom. So hopefully everyone's done with it by then and then they can enjoy Final Fantasy 16.
Okay. I mean, I'm pretty hyped for it too. I've also pre-ordered that one. I have a lot of I have a lot of goal. Like I like to reach for the skies, with a lot of these games. Sometimes I don't really get there, but it's always good to have
That's what's
goals.
going to happen with Hogwarts Legacy.
Don't you dare! No, I feel it in my bones. I feel it.
Yeah, feel something.
Yeah. Okay, you guys.
I'm excited. Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
I am a fan of Final Fantasy, not a huge fan. I have not played them all, not even half of them. Final Fantasy VII Remake, though, is like reigniting that passion in me. So I plan to play it, and I'm excited for it. And I think the more I hear Alex talk about it, the more I'm like, okay, no, yep, I should play this. This is a game I should play. So
You're
excited for it. Okay, sorry.
You're like walking
Carry
up
on.
to you're like walking up to the Ticketmaster and be like, 1 ticket, please.
One ticket, please.
Yeah. Okay, you guys, my number one does not have a release date, but it should be coming out in 2023, and I don't anticipate it being pushed back. And this is another reason why your Disney Plus subscription is where it's at. Okay? My number one most hype TV show is Loki season 2.
Oh, you're right. I love Loki. I love Loki season 1.
I love Loki season 1. We're finally going to see the aftermath or like some part of it, with Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania coming out next month.
Mm-hmm.
With Kang being introduced to a different version of Kang, or if this is the same Kang, who knows what's going on with Kang. But Loki season 2, I want to know what is going on with the TVA. What is going on with Loki and Loki? Like, like I'm just really excited for it. Owen Wilson's going to be back.
Best character.
The show had really good
down.
actors that they played great characters. Like I'm just really excited for it. I think that actually the slate of Disney Plus Marvel shows are actually pretty exciting this year. I want to shout out Secret Invasion. Almost made my list because that looks like a good old, like it looks to me like a Mission Impossible or Bourne Identity type show. And like I'm ready to watch Nick Fury do some spying. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But no, Loki season 1. I'm most hyped for Loki season 1. I could see myself season 2. Dang, I can't even speak. But like I can see myself like staying up till actually no, they air at like
they'll
3
probably
a.m.
only do one. Oh yeah.
No, I was just about to say like they probably do 3 a.m. because of the West Coast, but I woke up early for Loki.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I might do it again.
It was worth it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember doing that with you.
Yeah.
Tiffany, I'm actually really shocked that this is your only, like, besides some of the Spider-Man stuff, like, this is your only Marvel stuff. Like, there are some pretty big movies coming out, like, even Ant-Man Quantumania expected.
See, Ant-Man and Quantumania feels so close. Like it's just
Okay.
so close. Like I can feel it. Like like
Okay.
obviously we haven't bought tickets yet because I need to wrangle the group. I need to send out that text to like be like, yo, let's get the tickets. But it's like so imminent that like I was like, oh, it's basically here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. That's
I
fair.
am pretty excited for the Marvels as well. I actually think I'm more excited for the Marvels than Secret Invasion, but I feel like they're pretty close. Pretty close. But I'm most excited for Loki.
I'm nervous about the Marvels movie because the same way I'm nervous about any Superman movie, because when someone is so powerful, how do you make enough conflict? In my mind, like that's kind of where I fall on it. So I'm very excited for Quantumania. Quantumania almost made the list. It was number 9. It was up there at least.
Number 9.
It was close. It was close. Sorry, I don't make the rules.
Remember,
you know what I mean?
No,
wait, 6, so that's pretty close. It's
who's number?
away.
What was number 7 for you, Matt? Because we know what your number 8 was. What was your number 7?
7 was Atomic Heart. It's that video game that's basically BioShock. I'm really excited about that. Number 10 was Liza P. If you wanted to know my top 10. Yeah, and I'm actually really excited about that Craven. You know, we talked about Craven, but Craven's getting its own movie, and so we'll see what they do with that.
No,
I'm a little bit excited. You know, I'm a little bit excited.
No, is it by the same people that made Morbius?
I think it is.
No, Matt, I'm not even wasting my time watching Morbid.
It's
time.
Craven time.
Yeah, I was
it's
like,
Craven time.
I'm not gonna experience Morbid time.
Yeah. Well, there's that. Any other lasting thoughts? Any ones that just didn't make it that anybody wants to give a shout out to?
Well, I just want to say for Tiffany, when she was saying, she's interested in what's going on with Loki season 2 and the TVA. I mean, you already know what's going on with the TVA. It ends after turn 4.
That's true. It happens to me every time. Every time.
Okay. I mean, I am participating in Marvel Snap daily, though. I'm out of the like honeymoon phase of like, playing for like 4 hours straight.
What's your level? Just ballpark. It doesn't have to be exact.
Like 640.
Nice. You're a fiend.
Yeah,
you're going so quick.
I'm a fiend. I mean, one of the things this week was like upgrade 12 cards.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So like
I've been struggling through that.
Yeah, same.
Because a lot of the ones I want to upgrade are like 40 or 50 each. I'm like, I don't got those credits. Where do you get those credits at? All right. Any other shout outs before we head out?
Yeah, I do have a real shout out. This actually hot swapped into my number 6, or out of my number 6 for John Wick Chapter 4, and it was actually Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves.
Okay. I'm pretty excited for that one too.
So this has Chris Pine, Justice Smith, a few other actors and actresses I don't remember off the top of my head, but I don't anticipate a lot out of this movie, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But it looked like a fun time. Like, I think this will be a movie where I come away and say, this was not a great movie, but I had some laughs, and so it was up there. But at the end of the day, I think John Wick, me actually enjoying the movie triumphed. So it went up in there. But yeah, I'm definitely anticipating at least Dungeons and Dragons being okay, at least for the laughs. So it's I guess technically my number 7.
That's worth a lot. That's worth a lot.
I mean, it comes out March 31st, and I'm actually I'm gonna go to the theater for that one, I think.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. I want to go back to the theater. I feel like I only saw like big old blockbusters last year.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of just want to go, like just go.
Yeah. I'm with you. All right. If all you out there listening on YouTube, listening on Apple Podcast, on Google Podcast, or Spotify, wherever you're listening from, why don't you send us a little email, send us a little tweet, put a comment below. Tell us what you want to come to the theater to see, what game you want to download, what do you want to spend your 2023 doing. You can reach out to us at our Gmail at rxp.podcast@gmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter, rxp_podcast. Come like and subscribe us at our YouTube, RXP Podcast. Leave us a comment. Come on, we'll talk back. We'll see what's going on. But until next time, this is going to be a great 2023. Shout out to Grandmaster Doug for the tunes. We'll see you next time.
They haven't ghostified yet.